Hello dear students, good morning to you all. This is the next video of chapter number 3. So in this video we are going to discuss about the classification of Bryophyta. Dear students, in earlier video we have discussed the general description of Bryophyta, but now this is the turn to discuss about the parts or categories or the classification of Bryophyta. So dear students, let's discuss here. The classification of Bryophyta, the the Bryophyta is categorized or classified into two parts, liverworts and mosses. Dear students, all you know in NCERT it is given liverworts and mosses, and there is little bit description about these, but we will discuss in detail and you will be able to understand that how these category or what are the basis on which they are divided and what are the structure and what are the features of these different categories, liverworts and mosses. So dear students, Hepaticopsida, this is the first category of the phylum. This one is division, because in the cases of plant a phylum is known as the division. So Bryophyta, this is the division. So these are the category of division Bryophyta, Hepaticopsida and Bryopsida. Hepaticopsida, the liverworts are placed here, and Bryopsida, mosses are placed here. So dear students, here let's discuss about the first liverworts. So what are the liverworts? So dear students, liverworts are the simpler bryophyte. Liverworts are the simpler bryophyte and their body or their thallus is simple. So dear students, here if we will talk about the habitat, so you know very well we have discussed the amphibians of plant kingdom. That is why they can survive at both the places, at where? Inside the water or at moist surfaces or in the soil, moist soil. Got it? But the compulsion is what? Water. Water is the compulsion, or water is compulsory for the sexual reproduction. So at least, so that is why, dear students, you know, bryophytes are not present each and everywhere. Why? Because they require the water. At where moisture is found, that the place is reserved for the bryophyte. Got it? So dear students, liverworts, the habitat of liverworts is water as well as moist soil. Got it? Habitat, water and moist soil. Moist soil. Got it? The plant body is thalloid, thallus body, thallus body. Got it? Next one, thallus is leafy structure, or thallus is dorsiventrally placed. Dorsiventrally placed. So thallus is dorsiventrally placed. What does it mean? Dorsiventrally, dear students, you know, if the surface of the Bryophyta or the liverwort is, this is the surface is exposed toward the sun. So this is the dorsal surface and this is hidden. This is known as the ventral surface. So dear students, dorsal, ventral, dorso-ventrally. So this is the position dorso-ventrally. Okay. So this is the position. This is vertical position. Okay. This is the vertical position because dorsal side and ventral side both are exposed here. Okay. So here this is the dorso-ventrally position, dorso-ventrally placed. What? This is thallus dorso-ventrally placed. Got it? So dear students, here rhizoids are formed. Rhizoids are tubular and unicellular. This is very important term for NEET exam. Unicellular. What does it mean? Rhizoids are tubular and unicellular. Tubular and unicellular, I will tell you later. Let's discuss what is the diagram or what is the structure of this one. So I am drawing here. So dear students, suppose this is the thallus. This is the thallus of liverwort. So here you are looking. So this is the ventral side. I am showing this is the ventral side. Just we are looking, this is the ventral side and that side is the dorsal side. So here rhizoids are present, here ventral side, and this is this rhizoid, you are looking here, if I will draw the magnified structure of this rhizoid, so it has the tubular structure, just tube like, and it is made up of single cell. It is made up of single cell, so that is why it is unicellular and tubular. So this is unicellular and tubular rhizoid. Got it? So dear students, here at ventral side scales are found. Ventral scales are found here. Dear students, these are the scales. These are the scales at the margin of this leafy structure. These are scales. Okay, they help in the attachment of attachment of the surface. So dear students, these leafy structure or the branches of the thallus, these are dichotomously branched. Dichotomously branched thallus. So dear student, what does it mean dichotomously branched? Because it is the term given in the NCERT, so that is why I am describing in detail. What does it mean dichotomously? Dear students, suppose if I am drawing the branch of a plant, so this is Y-shaped, or this is the single twig of the plant. It is divided into two lateral branches, and these lateral branches again are divided into two branches. So these two branches are formed continuously. Here student, do you know, you are looking here that these are two branches of thallus, and these two branches, each branch is categorized or again branched into two parts. So here you are looking again two part, and this is also again is dividing into two part. This is also again dividing into two part. Here these are also getting divided into two part. So that is why this thallus is known as the dichotomously branched. Dear students, here you are looking, these are the notches here. So these are the notches at where two branches are formed. So these are the notches. In these notches, sporophytes are suspended. So here, that is why I told you earlier that in earlier video that the sporophyte in liverworts are hidden. So sporophytes are hidden at the notches. Got it? So dear students, next and important thing I want to tell you that some cup-like structures are formed. So these are the cup-like structure you are looking here. These are present at ventrally. These are the cup-like structure or cone-like structure are present at the ventral side. So these cups are known as what? Jemmy cup. Jemmy cup. Got it? So these are the Jemmy cup, and inside these Jemmy cup, Jemmy are present. So these are the Jemmy are present in these cup. Okay? So these are the Gemma cup are present in liverworts only. Okay? But in mosses, some mosses are also present the Gemma cup. What are the Gemma cup? Dear students, let's discuss. Gemma cup are vegetative structure these are vegetative structure and participate at where? Participate in asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction. So dear students, these Gemma cup participate in asexual reproduction. You are looking here. Got it? So these are the liverworts. What are the example of liverworts? Example of liverworts are Rixia and Markensia. Dear students, Rixia and Markensia. You are looking the diagram of which? This is the diagram of Rixia. So this is Rixia. Okay, this is Rixia. But another one I am drawing. This is the Markensia. You are looking here. This is the Markensia. Dear students, Markensia is the type of liverwort which has the only single reproductive part. This is one. Suppose this is male thallus. Male thallus. This is male thallus. So this structure is known as what? Antheridio4. Antheridio4. And at the top of Antheridio4, antheridium is present. Antheridium is present. And inside the antheridium, antherozoids are formed. What is the antherozoid? Antherozoid are the male gametes of bryophyte. Got it? So antheridium, inside the antheridium, male gametes are present. So here this is the male thallus, and another one I am drawing here. This is the female thallus. So you are looking here. This is the, suppose this is female thallus. So here, dear students, here you are looking, this is the structure, this is known as archegoniophore. Archegoniophore, and this is the topmost structure of archegoniophore is known as archegonium. So inside the archegonium eggs are found. So dear students, this is the Markensia, this is the Rixia. Another one example are this one liverworts. What are the another example? Pelea, Porella. So these are another example of liverworts. Dear students, what are the importance or what is the economic importance of liverwort? Do you know in liverworts the water containing capacity or moisture retaining capacity is more. That is why they make the thick layer on the surface of soil and they help in soil erosion. Dear students, they prevent the soil erosion because they form the matty layer on the surface of soil. And also they retain the moisture. That is why if any seed is fallen down on the surface of soil at where these liverworts are present or any type of mosses are present, they form what? They form the particular situation or particular favorable condition for the germination of seed because moisture is available and air content is also available. Some minerals and soils are also present in the soil. So their height is very low because they are 1 millimeter to 1 centimeter in height. So that is why their height is very short and they don't compete to the another plant. So dear students, this is all about the liverworts. I think you are understanding well. Now it is the turn to discuss about the what? The turn discussed about the mosses. So let's discuss about the mosses. Now let's just discuss about the mosses. So what are the mosses? Dear students, you know, this is the another and advanced category of the bryophytes because we have discussed the simpler category of bryophyte, that was the liverworts, that were the simple thallus. But here bryophytes are in advanced category. This category is mosses and this is known as the Bryopsida. We have discussed earlier Bryopsida. So Bryopsida, these are the mosses. Dear students, you know, the habitat of the mosses are just like the what? Liverworts. So it is understood. And dear students, the thallus body, thallus has the differentiated body. I told you earlier what? The root-like structure, stem-like structure, and also leaf-like structure. So thallus is differentiated into these three parts. Dear students, one another thing that they may be in height. They may be in height of about 10 centimeter or 15 centimeter. Okay, so they are the larger in height. So dear students, also these mosses bears the both the type of reproductive part. Okay, so bear both the type of reproductive part on different branches, Got it? So here they bear both the type of reproductive part on the different branches. Dear students, here one another thing I want to discuss with you, that mosses have the thallus body which is looking just like the plant. We cannot differentiate the plant body or the bryophyte body if we don't know. Okay, so dear student, that is why it is the confusion. If you will look the structure of the bryophyte, this is moss, so it will look like the plant or any complicated plant. Okay, so don't worry, it is clear to you now. So dear students, here another thing I want to tell you, that there is no vascular bundle in the bryophyte, but how they will absorb their mineral and nutrition, water from the soil, and also transport of food, how it is possible? Dear student, their height is not more than 10 or 15 centimeter, so that is why their the absorption of water and minerals occurs with the help of osmosis, because root like structure, I told you earlier that these are known as the rhizoid. So rhizoid had the capacity to absorb water, but these rhizoids are multicellular, septate and branched. So here rhizoids are branched multicellular. Okay, rhizoid are branched and multicellular, so they are absorbing, or they absorbs the water and minerals from the soil. But how food is transported? Food is transported just like this one, osmosis process, okay, or diffusion process in the bryophytes. So stem like structure, this is known as, already I told you that this is the axis. In the case of mosses, this is known as main axis. If I will draw the diagram of a typical moss, so it will look like this. Okay, so I think you are understanding that this is the moss. Okay, so you are looking, this is the main axis. These leaf-like structure are known as sporophylls. Here at the base, because mosses are ventrally placed, okay, or vertically placed. Sorry, not ventrally, vertically placed. But in the cases of liver, we have discussed dorsiventrally placed. So that is why these are looking like plant. Okay, so sporophylls are here. These are rhizoids. And these are different branches. Suppose this is male and this is female branch. Okay, male branch, or male gametes may formed in this branch, or female gamete formed in this branch. This is the main axis. So dear students, it will look like this. So that is why these parts are differentiated. Okay, we have discussed leaf-like structure, root-like structure, and this stem-like structure. This is known as main axis. Okay. One another thing, dear student, there is a confusion. Sometime you know some sellers or some peoples, they sell some structures or they call it Sanjeevani booty. You know, when they wet inside the water, it becomes green in color. When it becomes dry and it is brownish, or just like the grass or dry grass. Okay, so it is not any booty. This is only the what? Bryophyta, because it has the capacity to retain the moisture. After retaining the moisture, the chloroplast gets active, so that is why it becomes green and it performs the photosynthesis process. That is why it looks the green in color. So dear students, this is the reason. So I think you are understanding here. Reproduction process, just like the liverwort, reproduction process occurs in two ways: asexual and sexual method. Got it? So asexual method, you know, I already told you that it is fragmentation and what? Budding of protonema and gemma. Gemma also participate in reproduction, asexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction, dear students, you know, it is the fusion of antherozoid and egg. So they get fused to form zygote, and this zygote gets developed into what? Sporophyte. Okay, got it? Or this sporophyte is able to produce the spore, and these spores are able to germinate. After germination, what? Gametophyte is formed. Got it? So this is the life cycle of these mosses. This life cycle is known as what? Haplontic or haplodiplontic life cycle. Not haplontic only, haplodiplontic life cycle is found. Haplodiplontic life cycle. Got it? So dear students, it is about the mosses. Now next thing, economic importance. What is the economic importance? Dear students, you know, we also discussed earlier in the general description, but now here I want to tell one thing, that you know, mosses are the plants, or mosses are the category of the plants which are the precursor of the succession. What does it mean, succession? Succession, do you know students, at the smooth rocky area, suppose all the hill stations were not bare. Earlier plants were not found on the smooth rocks, but after many years, several years, you know, the moisture contents, it becomes accumulated after the growth of mosses. Do you know? You know very well that any moist surface can grow these bryophytes. So these bryophytes grows on the rocky surface. This is smooth and this is very bare rock. Nothing is found. When it is developed on the surface of rocks, then the rhizoids you are looking here, these rhizoids had the very surprising capacity. You know what is the surprising capacity of rhizoid? Rhizoid can penetrate the rocks. We cannot break the rock, but rhizoids can break the rock. Okay, you know, when you look at the wall of houses, they bear some plants, just like people plants, any other plant inserted inside the cracks of the wall, you know, but soils are absent at particular place at where plant is germinated. Soils were absent, but how it is germinated? You know, it is germinated due to this rhizoid, you know, because first moisture content was available and mosses are grown on the surface, and mosses had the rhizoid, and these rhizoid had the capacity, or they secrete some acid. So these acid can degrade the concrete, means cement, you know. So these rhizoids can degrade the cement or concrete in the smaller particle. When smaller particles, you know, just soil, it is also known as the smaller particles of the rock. So that is why smaller particles are formed, means soil is formed. This soil after rain, this soil contains the moisture and minerals also. So that is why if any bird, if the bird eaten seeds of fruit and these seeds after beating, when bird पॉटी करती है तो जब पॉटी करेगी तो फिर वो सीड्स पॉटी में डाइजेस्ट नहीं होते, मतलब उसके स्टमक में डाइजेस्ट नहीं होते, देन दीज सीड्स आर एक्सर्टेड ऑन द मॉसेस और द पर्टिकुलर सरफेस एट वेयर सॉइल इज फॉर्म्ड. सो दीज सीड्स आर germinate, and these seeds after germination they penetrate their roots inside the cracks that were the smaller cracks, but when roots gets developed then cracks becomes broader. So that is why the walls of the houses are cracked out. Okay, so dear student, this is the logic. So that is why rhizoid has the more capacity to form the soil, because it secretes the acid which can degrade the soil particle. Got it? So here another economic importance, I told you, rock weathering, you know. Next one is what? These bryophytes, dear student, these bryophytes, I am telling you that they are used to transport the living material. You know, when the plantlets of banana and any the costly plants, they are transported far from one place to another place, they are placed inside the mosses because they have the capacity to retain the moisture for a long. That is why mosses have the light weight in comparison to the soil, because and also they does not produce any garbage, you know, because mosses have the capacity to retain the moisture. And these plant of, suppose this is the mosses I put here and some water content is available, if I put the plantlet, a small plant inside it, it can live for a long. Okay, so plants are transported, then mosses are used to transport these plants. Got it? And another more thing, you know, these mosses are used as food and fodder for the animals, you know. Food and fodder are for the animals. Some mosses are also contains very important mineral, just like silica and any other elements are also found in this one. That is why they are also have the economic importance. So dear students, you know, mosses are of use. They prevent the soil erosion, I told you earlier. So this is I told you. So dear students, what are the example of this one? Example of mosses is sphagnum and funaria. Sphagnum and funaria are the example of these mosses. So I think it's enough for today. So in this video almost things are clear to you, I hope so. Dear students, if you are liking the video, you can comment me in the comment box, and also you can subscribe among your friends. Please subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you.